Trump would like to thank Tease.
To her children, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin.
Now, it doesn't have closed caption, so I can't show you that. Because my name has been, people have mistaken my name for Tess because it's T-E-E-S. But it's pronounced Tees. Like the Tees River over in Scotland. But it sounds like Tess. Or even T-E-S.
Thank you for sharing your incredible mom with our country. Thank you very much. Amy Coney Barrett will decide cases based on the text of the Constitution as written. As Amy has said, being a judge takes courage. You are not there to decide cases as you may prefer. You are there to do your duty and to follow the law wherever it may take you. That is exactly what
I know what you need me to do, but this isn't, you gotta understand.
I require customers and employees to wear masks in my store.
I know what you require because the law, it's a state requirement by the law. It's not a state law.
Well, I have the right to refuse service to someone who
I understand. I understand.
Not even mask. I have the right.
And I have a right for affidavit notice of discrimination against you and your company for doing this.
U.S. Supreme Court. I want to thank the members of the Senate. We have so many of them here today. Thank you very much. I see you in the audience and you're so proud. But I want to thank you for your commitment and to providing a fair and timely hearing. I know it will be that.
Because you're violating the First Amendment right. Because you think that because our governor, Tom Wolf, you know what he did? Tom Wolf, he already violated.
I don't care.
He already violated the First Amendment right. No, this ain't an opinion. Governor Wolf right here violated the First Amendment right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for judging me. No, this ain't an opinion. Governor Wolf right here violated the First Amendment right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for judging me.
Prompt confirmation should be very easy. Good luck. It's going to be very quick. I'm sure it'll be extremely non-controversial. You said that the last
Governor
time,
Wolf
didn't you?
was just denied because it was unconstitutional because of the First Amendment right, the freedom to assemble. Sure, yeah.
What's going on?
You want to step out here?
Sure. He wants to step outside for me.
No, I'm not stepping outside. It says step over here. You're being recorded just like I'm being recorded.
That the Supreme Court will issue in the coming years will decide the survival of our Second Amendment, our religious liberty, our public safety, and so much.
What I'm trying to explain is this. It's against my First Amendment right to have them to force you to wear a mask. And I'm sticking up for my First Amendment right.
I am supremely confident that Judge Barrett will issue rulings based solely upon a fair reading of the law. She will defend the sacred principle of equal justice for citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed. Congratulations again to Judge Barrett.
Have you heard about Governor
I know
Wolf?
that you will
With the judgment against him, that the right to assemble, he's already in violation of the First Amendment right and the 14th Amendment right. So this is another violation. It hasn't been, no judge has seen it yet, but I'm going to start the process.
And if the Senate does me the honor of confirming me, I pledge to discharge the responsibilities of this job to the very best of my ability. I love the United States, and I love the United States Constitution. Our family includes me, my husband Jesse, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin.
Tess, John Peter, Juliet. John Peter was born in Hades.
Vivian and John Peter, as the president said, were born in Haiti, and they
So they were born in Hades.
to us 5 years apart when they were very young.
Tuesday marks the first of 3 presidential debates between President Donald Trump and his challenger, former Vice President Joe Biden. The two will appear face-to-face in Cleveland, where they are expected to tackle several key issues. Among the most pressing topics includes the president's efforts to confirm a Supreme Court justice ahead of the November election. In addition, Mr. Trump has recently made headlines by refusing to commit to a peaceful transition of power if the outcome of this election is not in his favor. CBS News political correspondent Ed O'Keefe has the latest.
Joe Biden traveled to the U.S. Capitol Friday to attend the memorial service for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Democratic presidential candidate's first in-person appearance with his running mate Kamala Harris since the Democratic convention more than a month ago.
I want to be clear, I'm not going nuts. The president has a big stick. We choose truth over facts. He might as well do push-ups in here. That's just honest. He's not decided. You think he's decided. One man said to deliver a change. A man I'm proud to call president. A man who'll be next president of the United States, Barack America. Ladies and gentlemen, President of the United States, Barack Obama. Oh. Okay.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. The president.
I got something to go do. Hillary Clinton is disqualified to be vice president. Let's get that straight. And quite frankly, might have been a better pick to me, but she's first to me. I know I'm called middle class, Joe. It's not meant as a compliment, but I just want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. It's not true. I mean, if you want to check my shipper, just do push-ups and do whatever you want to do. There's Barack Obama. It's a 330 or 303 or 404. That saves millions of gallons of gasoline. The point of, I think it's $2 billion worth of, it's like $500 billion, 2 point something billion. It's like a ton of CO2 going in the air. I can't breathe. But there's truly 600 billion. I think it's 24 billion. It's $1,400,000,000. I bet like 400 million. I think. By the way, it's cost a lot of money. It's $740 million in 10 years. $1 a time to heat the building for 10 years. It speaks awfully and carry a big stick. And a quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick. I promise you. What? Why'd you have me say? Why'd you have me? Are you going to do this again? My memory's not as good as Justice Robbins. I was a Democrat caucus. I'm a caucus. I'm not a lot. I don't even know anything. I know. You gotta be honest. There's a notion that if you're poor, there's like the white kids. And Delaware, the largest population in the Americas, is that you cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts with a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. There's state senators. There's Chuck. Where you at, Chuck? God love you, Joe. Chuck. I'll tell you what. I don't know how you guys can mandate this mask, but I think Obama lived in about 10 years or so. I think he lived in Hawaii or something. Or is that Obama's way? If I'm still alive, I don't know. Anyway, God bless her soul. I agree that everybody wants the facts, and my time is so I think Trump's up next. Hey, Trump. Trump, what do you want? You're up next, Trump.
How's
think of it. Where's Hunter? Okay, get it. So where is Hunter? I want to see Hunter ask these questions. Hunter, you know nothing about energy. You know nothing about China. You know nothing about anything, frankly. Hunter, you're a loser. Why did you get $1.5 billion, Hunter?
And your father was never considered smart. He was never considered a good servant. He was only good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's ass.
And your father was never considered smart. He was never considered a good senator. He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's ass. True.
Thank you. Thank you. It's true. It's true. And they're always saying the same thing. Yeah, he gotta be $1.5 billion. It's nothing he can. But I always had the same thing. President Trump made a total unsubstantiated claim about Hunter Biden and his followers. It's not insubstantially, you crooked son of a gun. It's at 100%.
Even the smart guys on Wall Street, and I know all of them, aren't. They've never seen anything like that one before. I've called them. Does that ever happen? Never happens. Guy walks in, no experience, no nothing. Walks out with $1.5 billion. Gee, flies in on Air Force Two with his father, the vice president. Don't forget, that's when he was vice.
Don't forget, that's when he was vice president. So trying to get his son $1.5 billion. How would you like to have Joe Biden take over negotiation right now with China? I don't think so. I don't think so. And you know this. I don't think so. Meanwhile, Biden allowed China to rip off America for 8 years as vice president, and Barack Obama let him just rob us blind, and we're not doing that anymore. Those days are over. The Bidens got rich, and that is substantiated, while America got robbed. That's what happened. I'm telling you the truth. That's what happened.
Mind that whether or not you know it, the royal family is a little bit more powerful than you think, but they are also still pawns to a much larger family, and you know who that is. It's the Rothschilds, of course. So, the astounding words that this man says, I mean, when I say astounding, I mean astounding.
It's critical planetary. If you could just bear with me. I've been delighted to open this year's Critical Climate Change. The oldest climate by the health crises, not all sections of the planet are being pushed beyond its planetary boundaries. Without swift and immediate action, as unprecedented place, we will miss the window of opportunity to reset for a green-blue economy, animal sustainable future. So, in other words, the global pandemic is a wake-up call. It's simply you can't ignore. And I think being in this it's like
having been at this now for
It's a wake-up call that we can't ignore for climate
40 years, I have long observed that people tend not to act until there is a real crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, that crisis has been with us for far too many years, decried, denigrated, and denied. It is now rapidly becoming...
He's saying that the climate crisis has been denigrated and denied. Now,
Oh, I see.
no, that's not true.
I know
the
that's not
climate
true.
crisis has been proven to be wrong, as though man
Yeah.
creates it, and
I
it has
understand, I know.
been proven to absolutely be taking place. This is why it's called climate change, because they realized they couldn't keep up with the global warming because
Right.
we're about to get very, very cold.
I see.
That
Are you
would
going
make
to
a
turn
whole
our
lot of
electricity
sense.
off, Derek? Huh?
So any of the scientists will tell you that we're about to get very, very cold, that there are ice ages that come as a result of what the sun's doing. But again, another subject. As Richie from Boston would say, but I digress.
becoming a comprehensive catastrophe that will dwarf the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. At
Daddy,
this late stage, I can
Yes.
see no other way forward but to call for a Marshall-like plan.
Like a martial law?
Marshall-like plan.
yeah,
With
that's...
the planetary emergencies
You got the same thing I was saying right there. Hey,
permafrost
we're like...
melting in Siberia, for instance, producing dire effects on global warming. And with the Pantanal in Brazil being consumed by unprecedented numbers of fires, we can no longer go on like this, as if there was no tomorrow
Yeah.
and no ultimate reckoning for our abuse of nature.
And no ultimate reckoning. So,
Yeah,
there's a price to pay. We're
I
going to
know.
have to pay a price.
What do
I
we
know.
do? Without doubt, we must now put ourselves on a warlike footing.
War.
Pre-
War-like footing. War.
approaching our action from the perspective of a military-style campaign. That way, working together, we can combat this most grave and urgent challenge. If we have the resolve to shift our trajectory, we must start now by bringing forward our net zero target. I'm afraid 2050
Net
simply
zero.
suggests we have room to do it. Using the frameworks of our
Hey,
Sustainable
Derek.
Markets Initiative and the
How you doing, buddy?
of the Great
Doing
Reset,
pretty good.
and knowing
Oh, man, you are
we are all
a great
familiar
servant.
with the face,
of mine.
I would just like to outline if
I love you, buddy.
5 overall action areas of this martial law.
That's my greatest servant right there.
Which coherent
Prince
strategies
Charles.
should be assembled. First of all, by COP26 and using a future of industry.
I love
approach,
Prince Charles.
it would make a very great difference.
I love all the
Each
Rothschilds. I love you
sectors
guys.
of the
I love how you do my work very
Sorry,
well.
lols, not a deep fake. This is literally from the royal family, as you can see.
I can see you.
Right from there.
I got a big
So if they're
family.
deep faking, they'd be deep faking himself.
Pretty much.
energy, transport, financial services, and so on, were to outline publicly accessible roadmaps
Huh?
that identify the steps to net zero from 2020 to
Hey
2030,
Derek, what
along with plans.
do you
for
think about
protection
him? This
and
guy,
restoration
Pat,
of
Patty.
natural capital
What do you think about
environmental
Pats? How's Patsy?
We have an incredible opportunity to create entirely new sustainable industries, products, services, and supply chains.
Yeah.
Moving together with clear roadmaps, we can create efficiency and economies of scale that will allow us to leapfrog our collective progress
Leapfrog, like
and
3
accelerate our transition.
unclean
In these
leapfrogs.
efforts, we can also make sustainable options the trusted and attainable options for consumers. After
Okay, we don't have to listen to the rest of this.
Thanks.
So I can put the link in the description box
Prince
below,
Charles.
or let me throw
Hey,
the
Derek,
link
I gotta go.
in the chat box.
I'll check these guys
if you
later,
wanna watch
right?
the entire speech
Take care, buddy.
and become
You're the hell of a job, hell of a job, hell of a
Just
job.
what I've done. But I have a response to that. So let me switch over to this. Here's my response.
Oh, you English are so superior, aren't you? Well, would you like to know where you'd be without us, the old US of A, to protect you? I'll tell you. The smallest fucking province in the Russian Empire. That's what. So don't call me stupid, lady. Just thank me.
Well, thank you for popping in and protecting us.
Oh, that was fun.
No problem.
Fish called one.
No problem, no problem.
What that was.
I appreciate all the time.
So I'm going to now, with that, just with what he said, okay, keep in mind, you've got warp speed, you've got promises of the thing, that solution coming for yourself as to really what this cure is going to look like. And this is going to be the greatest concern that you have, because people have asked me, what do you think the mark of the beast is? And as you've heard me explain, the beast and the beast system itself is the dollar, and it always is throughout all history. All resets begin because of a financial reset.
This is the beast system. From this point here, from A to B, and once I get into that establishment that's being freaking gung-ho, militant, you cannot come in here without a mask. Well, I can go in there without a mask. I did it twice already.
Just with what he said, okay, keep in mind, you've got warp speed, you've got promises.
Because there's no law behind it. It's lawless. Everybody's looking for the lawless one. Well, the lawless one is the one that's coming up with these ridiculous orders that, because he's trying to change the times and the laws, and he's making these mandates and requirements lawless, because there's no law actually behind it.
In it. So I'm not going to say it here so we get that taken out. But they're going to promise this cure. Now let's take a look as to really what this cure is going to look like. And this is going to be the greatest concern that you have, because people have asked me, what do you think the mark of the beast is?
When it comes to going into this marketplace here where you exchange money back and forth to one another, but you can't buy or sell unless you do a certain thing, which is dress accordingly. This has nothing to do with an actual virus. This has everything to do with implementing the mark of the beast. So, if nobody stands up for your constitutional rights, they're just going to walk all over you.
Because of a financial reset.
So today, my goal is
to
go back into this store for the third time in 3 days.
And I'm going to be reading some scripture today. We're going to get deep into some of these scriptures, because we're going to be actually looking at the Aramaic, the plain English version of the Aramaic of some of these scriptures, because there's some certain words that are, I would say, far more appropriate when they're a direct translation from that Aramaic.
And you believe that what they're telling you, everything that they say on the news is true, that's your right. But you have a right to do that. That's why I said, you must take your mask off. You don't have to, but you must. Because the word must means ought to, should. It's like, it's so vague how they put these rules out there, it makes you feel like you have to. So you can't tell me, I must put a mask on. Well, you can. You can say, sir, you must put a mask on. I can say, no, I must not. You must take your mask off. But you don't have to, but you ought to. So if the words are interpreted correctly with the signs, it gives people a right. So if the words are interpreted correctly with the signs, it gives people a right to choose in their own head, should I or should not? I don't feel like I have to. It's against my First Amendment right if I am forced to. So no, I don't want to wear a mask. But the way that the lettering is on the front doors, and like even in Home Depot, it's so bold and warning, you must wear a mask before entering. No, you must not wear a mask. It's optional. But they're not making it sound like it's optional. And that's why the word mandate is so strong. It sounds like mandatory, you have to. But it's an authoritative order from Governor Wolf, who's already been found in violation of the First Amendment right. This is going to continue on, and you'll eventually see people in this store, mark my words, masks coming off.
And I'm going to be reading some scripture today. We're going to get deep into some of these scriptures, because we're going to be actually looking at the Aramaic, the plain English version of the Aramaic of some of these scriptures, because there's some certain words that are, I would say, far more appropriate when they're a direct translation from that Aramaic. And you're going to find a little bit more about what Christ was thinking with regards to what he was saying.